I'm a indie game developer in Taiwan. Although today the topic is PC, but as I know some information from the host, more people want to know about the mobile game and the marketing, especially the marketing in Taiwan. So I do some prepare for that, and I will share this through the page. So most importantly, we just 4 parts about the PC game developer. One is idea, and then we talk about management. It's about how to control your studio or your partner. And the process, that's the most important thing about the development game. And it means how you make your game. And finally, and most importantly, is the promotion. And this is our PC game on Steam, launched on this year. And it's a turn-based strategy game. So it's quite a big game in indie game. But I think it's some experience we can share everybody. Okay. So we just got in this. So the first topic is the idea. And or we can say more simply is how which game you want to make. So it's about to think about maybe about the type of game. We all know the game type is very well in this day. So if you want to make the fighting game, or you want to make the turn-based RPG game, or you want to make the RTS or kind of this game. So the first important thing is to pick which game or what game you want to make. And the second, you have to think about if you really going to make it, because we all know about the source. Because if I'm a single game designer, I just cannot make a AAA game to develop. It's gonna to make it. So you choose the game type, you choose the topic, and the second you have to think about you or your partner or your friend or your company. We're going to make it. So if the answer is yes, then you have to go to think about how you make it. So the first stage is the idea, and the idea is based on which game you want to make, which game you like, or think about because we think all from the game designer, but we all know the most important thing is player. So in this topic, not just think from yourself, but think the player you want to make the game for. And the second, you decide which game you want to make, what game you want to make. We go into the management. So the management means you have to plan to do your game, to create your game. We all know from the small game to the big game. Every news say, some kind of studio will launch their game maybe this year, but they say, oh, sorry, we have late about it. So maybe next month, maybe 3 months later, maybe next year. So always planning your game create plan after you really do this. Because in this process, you will know more detail about the game, how difficult you make this game. So just a simple 3 way to think about this. One is the milestone. So the milestone means which time you want to release the concept. Maybe not just playing demo, because that was take more time. And which time you want to release the demo, because you may want to know what the player really think about this. Maybe not just launch the marketing, but maybe you play with your friends, or you play. I think in the world company, some player will love to play some demo game from the indie company, or yeah. So the third thing is the work item. It means how much thing you need to do in this game. So for example, we create a turn-based RPG game. So the most important thing is the gameplay. So we have to create a turn-based RPG gameplay, and because it's based on a character, so we have to create some character because it's based on the story. So we have to write some story script. So that's how you have to do in this management. So you want to locate your work item. Yeah. And finally, which resource you have. It's not just about money. It's about money, about time, and about how you about your skill. So for example, our team is not very skillful on the graphic, but we are very skillful on the gameplay, level design, and about the script. So when we choose the topic or we choose the type of game, we would choose our skill is better than others. I think that will make some benefit to our final game. And then, yeah, I think that's very, that is the last of words about that. But simply saying the process is all about you have done your planning. So you have to go work through your game. So in this process, you have to consider about maybe at first the concept art, because you have to let all your team member or your partner know what the game will be like in the future. And the second, you maybe have some paperwork, have some game designer paper to talk about your game designer or your coding, what the game should be played and what the level you should be designed. And at the middle, you really take your time, you really take your time to create your game. Then you have to check everything about the process, because we all know time is very valuable. So in the process, you have to follow your milestone and create every work item through the process. And the last stage, before you promote your game, before the publish, and even before the community, is about testing. We all know the game, the testing, and this part is very, very important. But some beginner will forget about it, because as an example, our game, we just take the 2.5 years to make our game. But in the last half year, we don't make anything but testing our game and make our game better. And the testing is not just in your team, it's out of the player. So we get some player to play our game, and they have some feedback to us, and we know, okay, so the UI UX may have some trouble, and so maybe the level is too hard or too easy, or maybe they just think our script is not good enough. So we take a half year to testing and to make our game better before we promote our game to the public, to the market. And finally, I think that is other important thing about the game is about the promotion. Yeah, I use the word to conclude about the community, marketing, and publish. First of all, don't think it's too big or too hard, because we use social media, and before the social media, you will make your classmate in the school. So he or she may be a player. So you promote your game, you talk about your friends, hey, I make a game. Do you want to play? That's comedy. Yeah, and maybe you go into a station or go your home and you just say to the people, say, hey, I made a good game. You want to play? That's the community. So in the social media, either Facebook, IG, or WhatsApp, or everything, you always have to find which location or which place player will gather, and you just share your game, you just talk to them, and just as you know your friends, you have to know your player, and you will know which they like or which they don't like. But it's not every time you have to follow the player, because as the food, we like very different food to people. So the community, the target is to find which player would like your game. Not every player. You cannot fulfill everyone, but find a player really like your game and matter about your game. and do your game for that. Yeah. And for the second is the marketing. In my experience, now it's not a early stage or early year in the game. The game is more big. It's like more like a movie or like a novel. So every testing have people to like it. So the marketing is you show everybody your thing and then get some feedback about it. So you research the marketing about which country, which location, which zone, or which age would like your game, and just target them. Don't want to take everything. Yeah. And another tool to make your marketing great is you can use news. As example, in Taiwan, we have so many media welcome to the game developer to share their game information and news in their website. And I think in the India or the worldwide, they have some media about some blog. They would love to share your game. So don't afraid, just ask. And finally, the publish. I think for the beginner, maybe I just suggest maybe you should publish your game by yourself. We all know the big publisher have more resource about aids, about the money to push your game, but they have their experience. But in my experience or in my suggestion, if you are the beginner to create your game, I think you should go the process about the publish. You will learn the experience, and most important thing is you will content with your player face to face, because you don't have any middleman, because you face your player as yourself or as your company and student. So the publish, I think it's not just about the Steam, because we create a PC game on Steam, but we have the Google, we have the iOS, we have an Apple, and beside that, I think every country and every area have their local marketing or local publish way to publish your game. So maybe in the early year in Taiwan, it's not about to launch something in the App Store. It's about, we create a game and we make a CD or DVD or some type about that, and we sell our game shop. So it's very, very, very way to publish your game. Yeah. So just give it a try.